All right, hello there, folks. It's your boy Bank coming at you with a brand new hack for the Sega Genesis. This is Jungle Strike. This was from a Patreon request. So let's look at the original game really quick. Try not to make this too long of a video. So we start up the game. This is the original controls. So C shoots the gun, the pea shooter. B shoots hydras, and then A shoots hellfires. Right? Now, the controls for this game are kind of like, reminds me of Quake, because you can turn right, pressing D-pad right. You can turn left, pressing D-pad right. However, if you hold A, you can strafe left and strafe right. So A has two functions. If you tap it, it shoots the Hellfire. If you hold it, it doesn't shoot the Hellfire. It's a toggle for turning on the strafe. So I had a patron ask me, I don't know if it's possible, but this game was designed for a 3-button controller, which is true. And so, what if instead of holding A, and this, by the way, is configurable in the options, you can set it to be different buttons. But anyway, we'll just pretend it's always A. I always wanted this to be XYZ on a 6-button pad, so A, B, and C were the respective guns. So that's what I've done. I completed the hack, and here's the Gidra. So basically, I'm just going to go through like some of the input stuff. So basically, let's see. This is maybe every frame. 3. So if we remember back to our... Oh, yeah. So I'll show you now the new modified version of the game. If it I had to take out the checksum copy protection also. So now I press A, it only shoots the Hellfires. I'm holding A, I do not strafe. Now, if I hold Y, I strafe. If I hold Z, I strafe. So I've now separated that. So there's two different versions of this hack. One of them, which I just showed you, is all three of the upper buttons do the same thing. The other one I did was LS-ROM backup. Let's see. So let's see. MAME, debug, sound, MAME, Genesis, debug, sound none. Cart is ROM backup, Jungle Strike, Y button strafe. This one, if I simply tap, what? This is not. Oh, I didn't turn on. Derp. Control 1, MD6 button. I had to turn on a 6-button controller in the command line options. Now, if I simply press X, I strafe. If I press Z, I strafe, and then Y is the toggle. So that's what I did first. You know, in my goals here, A no longer does the jink, only shoot Hellfires, good. And then I thought this would be good. It's good on like a PlayStation or Xbox controller where you can remap the controls, but on an actual 6-button controller, it's maybe hard to do this and shoot with just your right hand. So the patron just asked me, can you make it where all three of the upper buttons are the jink toggle? So that's what this is. And so there's two different versions of the hack. The hack will be released too, and I actually gave it to the Patreon person to test to make sure it's working okay before I release it. But so that's the whole hack. And now if you don't care about how I did it or ROM hacking, you can turn off the video. Nice and short and sweet. It's just a showcase of a 6-button hack for this game. And now we'll do a little bit of ROM hacking stuff. So I think this... When does this break? This does not break at all. Let's see when this breaks. This is every frame. Oops. Let's see. This is only when I shoot the gun. I did this like pretty quickly. This is only when you shoot that C button gun. This is only when you shoot the B button gun. Now this gets into the A button toggle stuff. We're this is, I think D2 is the config, so you can set it to A, B, or C. D0 is input, so we're testing for that A button is input. If it was not, then we just go to the next part. If it was, then we test against this other input. Basically, did we press the A button or not? If we didn't, we leave. If we did, we then move this FFF F100 to, I think this is maybe a timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minus FF F100 FF what is this? 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 minus 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 EFF, which is, well, I don't know what that's about. But anyway, we set this timer and then we leave. So all of this is like for shooting the guns and testing to see if the A button was pressed. All this code from here to here to here. Now this is different set of input code that's related to jinking. And so then we go to this jink test. Not jinking, we're not jinking, we're not jinking. Here's a jink test. Somehow we flow through to this jink test. Oh, here it is. Jink. There's a whole function for jink. Jink, jink, jink. I don't know why they don't call it strafe. So anyway, this function is for jinking. So we turned off, I removed the jink. We go here, and we change this to branch. So we never turn on jink. This is just branch. So if we go here, if we press A, 3D016. Was this the original or the hacked version? Oh no, it's 3D01A is changed. So we always branch to 3D03C, which is we always skip turning on jink and just shoot the hellfire. So that's how we turned that off. Now we have to change. So we did this. That's done. But now you can't jink. So now we have to restore the jinking. So we go here and we go, let's see what I did here. We'll just trace back. So I've got an injection. You see the original code was clear D1 and then move the input to D2. We're not doing that. Instead, we're jumping to, let's see if we can open. You can see I'm in the middle of fixing, I'm setting up H40 for Splatterhouse 3. I'm almost done. What is this address that we're jumping to? 1FF330. It's like the beginning of the end of the ROM, so it's empty space. So we'll get to that later. So we go here, and I actually have romhack jungle sem nano. What was that? So here's the assembly language code that I wrote. I think it's like I basically rewrote a lot of this. So originally, we moved the input. D2 is the A button. D0 is input. If there's nothing, we leave. If there is something, then we, I don't know what this is. It's like nothing. Just disregard it. This never breaks. We always just go to here. This doesn't break. This doesn't break. I don't know what these are for. So then we go to this jink down test. This is the original code. We test for bit 1 of input. If it's not there, we go to the up test. If it is there, then we're jinking down. So this originally breaks when we jink down. Then we flow into the up test. So I don't know if we need to test for both up and down. If we're doing one, we're not doing the other, but it doesn't really matter. Millions of instructions per second, folks, per frame. We test for bit 0 of input. If it's blank, we don't do anything. We skip to the left test. If it is, then we set D1 as the jink. So we're setting bit 0 of D1. We're going up. And so on. Down, up, left, right, jink, and then move down normally, move up normally, move left, move right normally. So it's like wherever we were before was shooting and guns and ABC buttons. This is jink. This is D-pad stuff, right? All of this in here. So what I did was I rewrote. I don't think we ever run into this. Like we can look at how it flows. We jump to 1FF330, and then at the end we come back at 3ED2A, which is here. So this is the normal test. So everything we leave at the beginning of the jink test, we do this new modified jink test, and then at the end we either leave completely because we are jinking, or we go to the normal test, which is we flow back to where we're supposed to be after the injection. So what's changed is A, we turned off A button to shoot Hellfires. B, we now have an injection at this jink. This also should be moved. This should be movement and jink. So what happens in the injection that's different from the original code? So I then had to redo the input code for the controllers, but we'll go to that next. So now this isn't in the original code. You see it's D0, D0. D0 is input. D5 is the XYZ input. So instead of testing D0, we're testing D5. So X button jink, Z button jink, test. So this is for that version of the hack where only the Y button is the toggle and X is for left and Z is for right. But I changed, there's another version of this. This one, you can see it just tests is D50. Was there input on XYZ? If there was no input, we go to normal test. If there was input, then we just see which direction it was. So this one's more straightforward to look at, and I think that's what I have loaded anyway. So it's really straightforward. Oh, this should be. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is XYZ held, and if it is, then we go down here, and this is for D-pad. This is the bits 0, 1, 2, 3 must be D-pad bits, because now we're not checking XYZ anymore. The only test for XYZ is here, and that's it. This test is for D-pad. If we're doing left or right, then we set and we leave. So anyway, now the thing is, how do I get input on D5, right? So there's a couple input functions. So basically, this is search program text. Once you run the script to disassemble it a lot, and you search, this will come up, and you just have to figure out which of these is being called at startup, and which of these is called every frame, and which is never. So I determined that this is at startup, so this is like controller initialization or something. And then this one right before it or right after it, yeah, right before it is, I think, every frame. It's not going to be every frame anymore because I replaced it. But let's see. Yeah, it doesn't call that. So if we look and see what calls it, this is every frame, but you see in the original code, like 3EC94 matches. 3EC9E does not match. This is branching to subroutine at 3EBF2. This is the original code. Mine is branching, not branch to subroutine, but just branching to 3D01C. 3D01C, this is code that never gets called, so I was able to just overwrite it, because if we look at 3D016, this 4 bytes is a branch, branch if not equal. And then this never gets called. This never happens. This is like junk or something. This never gets, like if we BP3D01A, but let's see, BP3D016. What? 3D. Oh, it probably branches like it always branches past it. Oops. So let's see. 3D00C. I've changed to go to 3D052. 3D052. Oh, I think I have to do input to get this to, yeah. So at 3D016, okay, so this is what's different. 3D01A, we always branch, if I press A, to 3D03C, which is this the original code? Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but you get the point, sort of. Where was I? It's like easier to just do it and grind it than it is to explain it. But I put in that new code. Where was it? Here. Oh yeah, so the input. We're at the input, sorry. So this input joypad is what changed. And oh yeah, so I wanted to see where this goes. That's what I was looking at. This is every frame, call the controller, but instead of going 3EBF2, we go to 3D01C. What's 3D01C? 3D01C is empty space that we don't use, and it's an injection because branch, you can only go within a certain area of the ROM. Jump to subroutine, you can go anywhere. So now we go here to 1 FFF50. This is the very end of the ROM, and I put this new input function for 6 buttons down there. So every frame, instead of doing this input joypad 3 button, we now go to the end of the ROM. And we'll look at that right now. And then we'll be done looking at this. So this is basically the same, and we can actually, where's the, it's called input replace 6. Like I use VASM with a Motorola syntax, and sometimes it's hard to write some of these commands. Oh, this isn't. Oh, this is what we want. So what I first did was I just recreated this and put it at the end. And this is a really good way to do things. I just rewritten everything. These things at the end, like I was just lazy and I don't know how to put that into my syntax for my assembler. But for most of it, I mean, this is the same. It's bit for bit, byte for byte. It's exactly the same. And then I put it injected at the end and then run the game, and it has the original unchanged function, and then we go from there. You see that? So this is this, but it's running from down here. Now, the next step is to change it. So I found an online example for a 6-button input, and kind of with that and with this, I got... you know, I added these notes and whatever. So the beginning part I think is unchanged. But then this is like this one, I think. And then this is this one. And then this 4, 5, 7. This should be 6, right? These are new, but they're the way the 6-button controller works different than the 3 is it like reads, or it writes to this address of the joypad, and if you do it enough times, then it like primes it to send you the information for the XYZ. So this part was like added in between these two, and then you can see we just go back to process the original 3-button data. Oh, and then D5. D5 is where we read this now. D5 now holds the XYZ input. Now this is a little dangerous because we're free to use D0 and D1, but D5 we don't know. We don't want to overwrite some data that's important. But I checked. Like I used a register point, and it seems like D5 gets overwritten pretty soon after this and doesn't get read before that. So I think we're okay using D5. So anyway, we just added this part to read those 3 extra buttons to D5, and then everything is as it was before. And then we do some processing on the 6-button And then we leave. And so now, basically, this is done. Now the jink stuff. Where's that jink? Movement jink. Now for jink, for testing, we don't use D0, we use D1. So again, if we go back and look at this, we test D5. So this move Q is the same, 3ECC2. This is the same, but then the rest of it changes. And I guess maybe I should allow, I don't know if I can oh, the config for ABC doesn't matter now for jinking. The config ABC only matters for shooting the Hellfire. So I don't need this code because this is about configuring your buttons to shoot and strafe, but we don't need that for strafe. So in this version, we just test the input that now is in D5 because this happens right after the input thing. So D5 is preserved, as is D1. And so the end result is, you know, these XYZ. Now you have a 6-button Jungle Strike, and hopefully this is something people will enjoy. It was interesting to make. You know, I hadn't messed with the input code for the Genesis in assembly. I've done it in C, but not in assembly. So I got this hack done pretty quickly. The way that I found this shooting stuff was like, I think I found a Game Genie cheat that made it so your ammo doesn't go down, and then you can use like it's a web program to decode a Game Genie cheat to its actual RAM address, and through that I found the like number of shots and then a watch point on that RAM address. Number of shots goes down, that means you shot, and then prior to that it means you press the A button. Prior to that means it's reading input, and then that's how I got to all this. So I don't have like most of the program, you know, labeled, but I don't need to label the whole thing. I'm not doing like a full disassembly. I'm just doing this one specific thing, you know. And also I had to disable this. This is like copy protection, so this is like the checksum of the entire ROM. So at startup, a lot of games do this, and it'll like add. Here's the loop. There's like all these loops where, is there another one here? It adds up like the entire, I think this is already getting past, let's see. If we look at what I did here, 4E75, yeah, I think this is at 1FF, 2F6. So how did I fix this? F 5381 60FO. Okay, so here, this is a compare against checksum at DZ. Okay, so this is where this is like a loop to add up the whole checksum of the game or whatever, and it runs every time at startup. And if it doesn't equal this, it goes to an infinite loop. This branches back on itself forever. So all I did was, you know, this it goes to here. It goes to here. This is like it doesn't find the right checksum, so we go down. But we don't want that. We just want the RTS. This is like no problem. So I just moved this here. 1FF2, 1FF2F6 is now RTS. I could have put it earlier, you know. I probably could have put it at the very beginning. Like, it's still doing the CRC check. I mean, we can test it while we're on this. Let's see, 4E75, and then I like to highlight it so I know what I changed if I need to go back. And we can even try to see if it'll boot faster. So that immediately shows the logo. 7000. See that long, it's like 3 seconds. It's horrible. So it would probably be better. You never know, like, CRC check loop. It could be setting something that's read later. It's probably not. you know, you could probably, the better way to do this would be, so this is like, uh, we could probably just nope this at 300. 47.1, 47.1, 47.1. Now let's see what happens with this. This is probably run it fine, and yeah, and then the game runs fine. So that's a better way to do it, is just not do the copy protection check at all. So let's see, where does it go after this? This is, I could just make it, also, I could just change this. Instead of going to 300, I could make this just branch to 306 and skip the whole thing. You know, that would be another way to do it. But anyway, that's Jungle Strike 6 button. I guess while we're here, do you want to see Splatterhouse? I'll show you the progress I've been making on Splatterhouse. It's almost done. So I'm going to close that. This one's had a bunch of, you can see I've got, there's 2 injections. If we go to BDAC, see this is like at the end of the ROM. I'm putting code in there. Let's see what's going on in the Splatterhouse. So this is a different type of hack. This is an H40. So normally, you see how it has no HUD here? Normally the game only displays up to here, and the characters are bigger. But now it displays all the way over. And I've almost got this working. So basically there's 2 X positions in play. Right now my character is moving in X. And I'll show you in RAM. Where was it? Labels. So there's scroll X. We'll put that here. And there's FF5, FA2. This is the actual player's position. So you want to keep your eyes on this and this. Now, if I change this manually, it changes the camera scroll. If I change this manually, it changes the player's position. So we're really working with 2 different things. They're both moving like kind of together. But there are times when only the X position moves and the scroll doesn't move, because right now I'm moving in X position but I'm not scrolling. Now I'm scrolling and moving X. Now I'm moving X and not scrolling. So this is almost done, but if we take a look at where's the ROM? ROM backup, Splatterhouse 3. So this is that hack for Splatterhouse 3, but I've only turned on H40. I haven't done anything else, and you're gonna see what happens. Let me just kill you, kill you. So it scrolls too far. We don't want this to happen. This is ugly, and it ruins it. Now, I left this in the Mickey game. Maybe I should have done the Mickey game. I don't know if people are actually playing these hacks or not. But the Mickey game, like this Splatterhouse 3 game, is just a bunch of like little rooms. So you're going to be seeing that a lot. The Mickey game, it's like only at the end of the level. So it's less frequent. I mean, I'm open to updating the Mickey hack and finding this stuff. This game is programmed really nicely, so it's like so clean to hack. But anyway, what we want is, we want the scrolling to stop here, wherever this is scroll, this is X position. So an X position is at like 240, 24A. Don't scroll anymore, but allow them to keep walking. And then where's backup? There's another one. Splatterhouse. Oh, I didn't. There was another. I just changed it. Where's Splatterhouse? So if we do D056, so there's. I did one injection. Forget about CF90. Injection 1 is at CF78. So this is scroll and barriers X position, this function. Here at CF78, we load the level boundary data. for the X position, how far the player's allowed to walk. So just for walking, not for the camera. So what I did is, let's see if we can, let's check this out. Beat you up. Beat you up. So we're going to save state. And we've got that breakpoint set. It's going to break when we hit the edge. Oh, it didn't. What? What the? Oh, it was here. Sorry. Okay, so I got to the edge. This is the edge where we should stop being allowed to scroll. And oh, I hit F. So we jump to the injection at BDACO. And BDACO, what do? We just we put the code back from CF78. Whenever you do an injection, you have to replace the code, otherwise the logic's going to get broken. Then we replace this, just like usual. Now what's new is, and I put new on there, we subtract 64, hex 40. So the boundary for walking is now, sorry, the boundary for scrolling is now 64 pixels less, which is good. However, before I put in the second hack, which is here, this is, I just modified this constant from 1A, it was 160, so I increased it by 64. This is the wall check. 160 is 352. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just increased this by 64 pixels, and now you can continue walking. But it's not fully correct because it's bouncing us back sometimes. So I just have to fix that, and then once I fix that, then I think this hack will be done, because the cutscenes and everything look fine in H40. And this is a pretty decent game. I think after this, I'll do maybe like the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage or Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. Oh, that's... So this is not really what we want. Oh, we got... Okay, so did you see it snapped me over? I might have to figure out a way to fix that. Because I went up and the scrolling was too far to begin with, and then when I moved over, it snapped me. So there's probably a scroll. You know, what we're going to have to do is, if we remember, this one's camera, so we don't care about the player's X position. We gotta beat this level and go. Yeah, see, there's like when you hit the wall, it. I gotta beat these guys again. Sorry. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Okay. Okay, once I do that. But yeah, there was a door thing. Where's that door thing? Not a door, so this only breaks when we hit a door, so I'm gonna do that, and then enable watch point 1, and we can remove the door breakpoint. And now you see EOD6. And now add to my notes. New problem: when entering a new room, it sets camera, and sometimes it's too far. PC. So now we have to fix this, because instead of writing, leave me alone. What would be? I just got to take away hex 40 from 400. God. I don't want them to move my 3CO. Okay, what if... God, leave me alone. What if this were 3CO instead of 400? Yeah, see, that fixes it. So basically, whenever we go, it's not like whenever we change a room, but whenever we go up, I think we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to subtract 64. So it's like edge cases, and you know how it goes. But I think it's worth it. Like, I thought I could see a map when I hit pause. You know, this is a cool game, and that could be the last thing I need. So I'm just curious, is that let's see, breakpoint EOD6. Does this always set when I enter a level? Yeah, so for this one it starts at 100. It might be that this is like a room initialization or something, you know, like room scroll init eos. This is a big function. This is all like level boundary scrolling stuff. But anyway, let's see if I go move like this, what happens. So we're going to look here. I'm going to press 11. Does it? So now it does 300. 300 is no problem. So I think it's only problematic if it writes 400. Let's see, F6. It's going to write 500. Is 500 okay? 500 is okay. So the issue is, okay, I'm going to beat this room and then go up, and then we should have like a definitive answer, and then I'm going to end this video. Jungle Strike. This isn't Jungle Strike. Bank Bank. And also, if you like these videos, you want to support my work, you want to request a hack, please subscribe to my Patreon. Become my patron. Okay, what are we going to get? 500, so camera should be fine. So you know what I have to do? This is crazy. At EOD6, why do I not have any? We write the new camera position for when we enter room. Fix it only buggy when we write. It might be too many zeros. So we need to do an injection where we check for that value. If it's that value, subtract. So I think we basically figured it out. So that's it. I'm done with this video. Thank you for watching. Please leave any questions or comments. I love you know, making hacks that people are actually going to have fun with and play. So enjoy.